We are talking about how to, not, I don't even want to talk about how to start over after 50 or 60 or whatever age you are. I want to talk about the fact that it's totally doable to start over at any age. You're never too old and it's never too late. I'm going to share the Reader's Digest version of how I started. I completely reinvented my entire life after 52 years old. We're just going to get right into that right now. So I had just left an abusive relationship. I had my own salon. I had closed my salon. I had declared bankruptcy. You could say that my life was a little bit of a disaster. I had, I'm not going to lie. I shouldn't say almost. I had many thoughts, when you're like really depressed and you feel really helpless and you feel really hopeless, the thought of swallowing a bunch of pills it crosses your mind. And I think that happens to everybody. Obviously I didn't do it, and obviously many of us don't do it, but we think about death. We think about, why am I doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. This is exhausting. I can't handle this. And especially as we get older, depression in older adults is on the rise because it just feels like life is harder these days than it was. I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years ago. It's just more difficult. It's harder to get jobs. Everything is more expensive. It's a whole gamut of issues. So anyway, after I closed up my salon, I was a hairdresser for 25 years. After I closed up my salon, I went back to the salon that I used to work at before I opened up my salon. I went back to the salon that I used to work at, tail between my legs, can I have my job back? She gave me my job back. I was broke. I was bankrupt. I was depressed. I was very, very grateful that she took me back, obviously, but I just hated my life. I hated everything about my life. I feel like it got to a point during that period where I was just like, there's gotta be something more than this. But when you're in your 50s, because I was 52, right? So when you're that age, and when you're that age, you think, oh my God, I'm so old. Look at me, I'm 52 years old and I'm starting here back at this salon that I used to work at, and I have no money and my life sucks. So you feel very, very, I don't want to say helpless. You feel like a loser. Honestly, you feel like a loser and you feel like a failure. And then you just think, is this it? Like, is this my life now? Here I am back at my old job that I don't like, grateful to have it back. But is this the rest of my life? And for me, it really made me question, okay, Eva, now you're 52. What are you going to do with your life? So it was at that point where I realized that I didn't want to do this cut hair and work to build somebody else's dream for the next 25 years. This was not going to be my life, and this was not going to be my story. I needed to do something. So I decided to take my age out of the equation because that's very, very important. I took my age out of the equation and I thought, okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything or change anything or start anything if I keep thinking, oh my God, I'm 52 or 53 by that time. I'm too old. I can't do anything new. Whatever. So I removed that from the equation. I thought, okay, what do I want to do? Like, what do I really want to do? How am I going to do it? And can I do it? So to answer the last question, can I do it? I just want to pause right here and make a point, or I have a cat hair in my nose. I'm sorry. I want to make a point that You can do anything you set your mind to, anything, no matter how old you are. And age has nothing to do with that. You can do anything that you want if you set your mind to it and you really, really want to do it. So you have to ask yourself, how bad do I want it, right? So how bad do I want to change my life? How bad do I want to improve my life? How bad do I want a better life, to be happy, et cetera, et cetera. So I knew, I knew without a shadow of a doubt that something had to give and I needed to make some changes. Hands down, I knew that something was going to give, and it was up to me to make those changes. So I started looking into, this was supposed to be a Reader's Digest version, but now it's just turning into this long, convoluted story. So I'm going to condense, I'm going to try to condense how I totally overhauled my life. And then I just want to share some tips with you. So I started doing some research on how to work online. And so the reason why I wanted to do that was because I wanted to travel. I didn't want to be stuck. I'm from Northern Ontario, Canada, and I didn't want to be stuck in Canada anymore. I wanted to take my life to the next level. I had a lot of dreams and cloud bubbles over my head. Oh, I want to do this. I wish I could do that. And it was time for me at 52 years old to start taking those dreams and putting them on a table and looking at them and going, okay, can I actually realize this dream? Can I actually leave Canada? Can I go and travel in warm climates in this wintertime? Can I do all of these things? So I started looking into what kind of online, okay, how can I be a digital nomad, right? And that term was very new to me. So what can I do? What do I have to do? And can I do? I mean, what skills do I even have? Can I even do this? Can I be a digital nomad? Like, could that actually be a reality? And could that actually be my life? So I started looking into it. And I downloaded a lot of free, grab my free ebook and to learn how to do this, and grab my free 5-day course to learn how to do that. So I signed up and downloaded all kinds of things like that. And I just read and absorbed all kinds of information. I watched YouTube videos like this. I just did all the research I could to find out, can I do this? What do I need to do? And can I do this? Now, remember what I said just a few minutes ago, you can do anything that you put your mind to, right? So once I've done all my research, I thought, okay, so if I was going to be a digital nomad, what could I do? Like, what's my skill? So this is actually kind of funny. So I decided that I was going to try to become a freelance writer. And so I don't know if you guys know that. I think I talked about this in one of my other videos. So I didn't graduate high school. I have no special degrees. I didn't go to college, university for English or anything like that. The only writing experience that I have is writing letters to ex-boyfriends, writing in my diary when I was 13. I mean, I have no writing experience, but writing is a passion of mine because I express myself very well writing, and I know I'm a good writer that way. But could I take that writing passion and turn it into a writing career? Could I do it? Well, obviously, yes, you can. Yes, I can. So I did that. So I took everything in. I absorbed all I could. I learned everything I could, and eventually, I became a freelance writer. It took about a full-time paid freelance writer. And I'm going to drop a link. There'll be a link up here, or I'll drop a link down below about my video about how to become a freelance writer, if that's your thing, if you want to be a writer. So I became a freelance writer. And once I did that and I became full time, I quit my hair. I was 53. No. Yeah, I think I was just 53, maybe in my 54th year. Time eludes me. I hung up my cutting shears and I became a full time freelance writer slash digital nomad, because it was at that time when I realized I'm not chained to Canada anymore. Now that I have this job, this career as an online, working online, which was what I set out to do, I can go anywhere in the world. Like I literally could go wherever the hell I wanted to now. And that's exactly what I did. So I did very little research about different places to live, and I came across. So here's the truth. I found a tea leaf reader, and I got her to choose the country for me. She said, "You should go to this country," which happened to be Guatemala. And it's 9 years later, and I'm still here in Guatemala. This is now home. So I not only changed my career, hung up my cutting shears, changed my career. I was 53. I also left my country. I packed 2 suitcases and I bought a one-way ticket and I jetted off to Guatemala. And I completely, totally reinvented my existence. But I'm going to tell you that when here in the town that I live in, I meet so many different people, foreigners from all around the world, pardon me, who have also like just packed their bags, completely reinvented their lives, and left their country, wherever it was, Europe, the United States, Canada, and have come here, have traveled all over the place. So, and people in their 60s, people in their 70s, age, you have to take age out of the equation when you're thinking about starting over, changing your life. Because if you keep thinking, I'm too old, I can't do this, I'm too old, then you're eventually going to believe that I'm too old and I can't do this. So you need to take that out of the equation, and you need to realize that A, you're not too old, and B, yeah, you can do this. So I just want to share some tips with you about giving you some ideas about how you can start over. And remember, so I want you to remember, I still have that cat hair in my nose. So I want you to remember that when I started to reinvent my life, when I started overhauling my life, I mean, I had to do a lot of inner healing. I had just left an abusive relationship. I had declared bankruptcy. I was, depressed. I was, borderline suicidal. So I had a lot of healing work to do as well, to become, for my mental health, so that I can think clearly and focus on my long-term goal. But you also have to, I was going to say something and I totally forgot what it was. Wah, wah, wah. But I want to share some tips with you. That was almost like a senior moment, if you will. But I want to share some tips with you about some of the things that you can do. That's what it was. I wanted to take you back to when I was 53 years old. I had nothing, right? I didn't even know what I was doing. I knew nothing about the online world. I knew nothing about videos. Video editing, YouTube channels. I didn't know anything about writing online. I didn't know anything about anything. I had to learn, and I had to figure it out, research it, and do it. So anything is possible. You can do all of that. So you can't go, oh, I can't, or I don't know how. You figure it out and you learn how, because I didn't know how either. And I had nothing. I had no money. I had just declared bankruptcy. I had zero, nothing. I had nothing when I reinvented my life. So you can start at absolutely zero, and you can completely overhaul your life, and make it the absolute most amazing life ever, if you want to. I mean, you have to really want to. And if you don't want to, then you're always going to come up with excuses. You're always going to think, oh, I don't think I can. I don't know how. You're always going to have those excuses in the back of your head if you don't really have that burning desire to change your life. So that's like bottom line. That's the number one thing that you absolutely have to have, is a burning desire to make your life better, to improve your life and to change your life, like to want a better life. And then the second thing you have to have is you have to have the faith in yourself and the confidence, which I know is hard because I've been there. You have to have the faith and confidence that, yes, I can do this. I know what I want. Now I see it and I know what I want and I can do this. And then you're going to start doing the research. So I'm going to share a few tips with you now. And I feel like this video is already really long. So I'm going to share some tips with you now about how you give you some ideas. If you are kind of looking, staring at the blank wall going, okay, well, I know I need to change my life, but I don't know what the hell I want to do. Like, I don't even know where to begin. So I'm going to share some tips with you about that. I'm going to take a teeny tiny little break and try to get this cat hair off my face because it's driving me mental. And then we're going to get right into the tips about how to completely overhaul your life, no matter how old you are. So let's get into some tips about how you can reinvent or start your life over again after 60. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. So now I work online and I no longer am a freelance writer. I've grown to build my own business with a lot of hard work and a lot of learning. I own my website, Women Blazing Trails. I now run this YouTube channel, and I also just bought, this is kind of random actually, I recently bought a keto website that had a whole bunch of really cool keto recipes in it. We're making brownies right now. So there's this really cool, and I've been trying some of the recipes. I just haven't got through all of the recipes. So one of the recipes is keto lupin flour keto brownies. So we're going to get those brownies in the oven while I'm doing this video. So I want you to, and keto, the keto lifestyle is not a huge passion of mine, but I have been trying to follow the keto lifestyle as best I can. So I bought the site, and now I'm working that site as well, trying to build that site and grow that business as well. So I want you to, when you think about how to start your life over, or, what can I do? I want you to dig deep and think about your passions. And what I want you to do is this is what I did. I got a whiteboard. You can get a whiteboard or a poster board, get something and stick it on your wall. And I want you to, on this board, I want you to start by writing down some of the things that you love doing. Like, do you like to write? Do you like to bake? Do you like what are the things that you like to do? We all have passions. All of us have a gift. And I think people forget that. Each and every, is that an eggshell that went in there? Oops. Each and every one of us has a gift. We have a gift for whatever it is. I don't know what your gift is. So I want you to take your board. That is an eggshell. Oh, well, wah, wah, wah. I want you to, on this board, write out some of the gifts, some of the talents, some of the things that you have that you really love doing, like things that when you do them, they bring you great joy. Write those things out. Think about what it is and write them out. And then once you're done that, I want you to go, okay, so I've written out all these things. These are the things that I really, really love. They bring me great joy. I have a passion for them. I know that these are some of the things I can do for the rest of my life till the day I die, and I will be completely ridiculously happy doing these things. And write out what they are and find out what they are. And I want you to keep in mind this. This is something that I learned very early on in my journey of when I was learning how to do things online and starting my business, and what can I do and how can I do this and blah blah blah. Everything's in there. So the one thing that you have to remember is that somebody somewhere in the world right now is doing something that they love and is making a living doing it. And they're living a life of crazy, ridiculous joy. And that person is probably doing something that you already love doing that brings you joy, but you're not building a business or making money from it. And they have taken it and have built a business and are making money at it and are living the life of their dreams. So I want you, that is a very, that's a really important thing to keep in mind. Somebody somewhere is doing what they love, which is probably the same thing as what you love, and have built a business around it and are living a life of joy. I want you to always remember that. So maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you like knitting, or maybe you like painting, or maybe, I mean, I don't know what your passions are. I don't know what it is, but you have to really dig down and think about, what is it that I really, really, really love to do? Because this is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life now. So we've already spent a lot of time, or wasted a lot of time, doing things that we don't love doing. Here we are at however old you are. And, you know, maybe some of you, this looks like it's very thin. Maybe some of you had, you know, got laid off from your jobs, or you had shitty jobs, or you lost your jobs. I mean, after COVID, you know, the whole world went to shit after 2020. And a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost really good jobs. A lot of people lost a lot of things. So, you know, you have to, this is the time where you need to pivot. And I want to tell you something. I got to get this in the oven. I want to tell you something. If you're thinking about, you know, starting maybe an online business, everybody and their dog is online. And, you know, I may get yelled at for this. People may, you know, in the comments be mad at me, but online is the place to be right now for building a business. I mean, the whole world is online. Everybody is online doing all kinds of things. And, you know, and I'm going to say that you can start a blog. I honestly wouldn't advise that, because Google has decimated blogging. They've replaced us with AI. So blogging is not the thing. Honest to God, if you want to start a business online, and I highly, highly recommend it, start a YouTube channel. Honestly. And you can do faceless. You're going to say, oh, Eva, I can't go on the camera and I don't want to, you know, I can't do that. You know how many people have faceless YouTube channels that are making thousands of dollars a month on faceless YouTube channels? You can, maybe you love knitting. You can teach people how to knit and you never have to show your face. All you got to show is the yarn and the needles, or whatever the case may be. So don't discount going online and starting a business, because honest to God, in my opinion, I remember, can I lick the spatula? Oh, I probably shouldn't, because there were raw eggs in there. Remember that you can do, one second, oh, please pray for me, because I've never made these brownies before. You can do whatever you set your mind to. And I'm going to strongly recommend starting a YouTube channel. If you don't want to do a YouTube channel, which is perfectly fine, you don't have to. You can do all kinds of things online. If you go to Fiverr, you can be you can be a VA, like whatever skill you have. Maybe you already have some mad computer skills, or maybe you're a graphic designer, or maybe you can do social media managing, or maybe you can do all kinds of things. You can start a Fiverr profile. You can go on LinkedIn and find jobs on LinkedIn, online jobs. You can go to Indeed.com. There's so many. I mean, you know, the sky is the limit when it comes to online working. And if you're already starting at zero, you can build your own business from zero online. You know, I'm not going to tell you, oh, it's going to be easy. How long do I have to keep this on the oven for? I don't even know. I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work. But I mean, how bad do you want this? I mean, how bad do you want to have a new life? You're starting at nothing already. You're already at nothing. So you can only go up from here. You can't go any further down. And that's where I was at 53. I was already at the bottom of the barrel. I had hit rock bottom. The only way is up. You have to have a burning desire to do that. And I really want you to have that. And I know it's easy to, sit on the couch at the end of the night after a shitty day and, just eat junk food and watch mindless Netflix shows. I know what it's like to do that because I did that. But I want you to, when you wake up tomorrow morning or Monday morning or whenever you're watching this, I want you to wake up with the mindset that, okay, you know what? This is it. Today's the day. I got to start making some changes. Let's get back to that whiteboard. 1 second. We're going to get back to that whiteboard. Okay, so let's get back to that whiteboard. I had to change microphones because my other microphone died. I was playing back my video and I'm like, oh, there's no sound. My microphone just died. Good grief. See, I told you I'm no expert at any of this. So on the whiteboard, so what I want you to do is I want you to take a whiteboard or a poster board or whatever you call them. You could use the paper board or the whiteboard with the dry erase markers. And I want you to write out 5 things that bring you great joy, like 5 things that you're really, really passionate about. So you could put like knitting, cooking, baking, sewing, playing with dogs, whatever. I don't know what they are, but I want you to write out 5 things, on no more than 5 things. If you only have 3 things, then write out 3 things. It doesn't matter. And right beside each thing that you've written, I want you to write down just a couple of notes. And you're going to have the same recurring note on one of them. And it is do research on this topic. So let's take knitting, for example. I don't know why I've chose knitting. It's just so random. So I want you to, let's say you want to start a business about knitting, but have no idea what the hell you can do with knitting, right? So I want you to just go to Google and I want you to type in knitting tutors or how to knit or how to whatever, anything about knitting. And I want you to check out the top 5 to 7 results that come up besides sponsored ads and Amazon ads. I want you to go to actual websites and I want you to check out these websites and see what they're doing. Maybe they have a YouTube channel. Maybe they have an Instagram or a TikTok or whatever the case may be. Maybe they probably have a website. So I want you to go to these websites, to these social media platforms and check them out and see what they're doing. Because these people are making a living. Whoever it is, Margaret or Betty or Susan, she's making a living already doing knitting, which was written on your whiteboard as your number 1 passion. And these women are already doing what they love doing. They're on the top page of Google. They're in the front page of Google. Check out and see what they're doing. And then find a way, maybe they're blogging, knitting, I doubt they're blogging. They're probably on YouTube. Watch some of their videos, check out her blog, whatever it is. And figure out, this is what you're going to write beside the whiteboard, figure out how you can do better than her, because she's your competition. Because if that's what you've decided, that you're going to take your knitting skill, gift, talent, and you're going to create a business around it, how can you be better than her? Because she's your competition now. What do you have to do? How can you put your unique spin on this and make it amazing? And that's what I want you to do. So I want you to go to each of your passions and go and do some research and figure out what can you do, because you can do anything. I mean, you really can. You can do anything. So I love talking to women over 50. I love talking about travel. I love talking about anti-aging. I love talking about motivation. That's probably my number one passion. And I love talking. Clearly you can tell. So I went and checked out all my competition, and they're great and they're doing a great job. I think I can, and I have to think to myself, I can be better than that. I can do better than that, because I'm a very unique person. We're all very unique, and we all have a very unique thing about us that makes us more amazing than the next person. And I don't mean that to sound shallow or narcissistic. I guess I probably did sound like that, but take your unique thing and put the spin on that, and then see how you can start a YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and create a channel and just start. You have to just start. And when I started this, I'm no pro. I am by no means a YouTube pro. You can tell by this video, because I'm umming and awing, and there's things happening and there's mishaps, and I don't really care. Every time I do a video and I edit it and I watch it back and I publish it and I put it out there, I get feedback, and every single video, I get better and better with every video. So I'm no pro, and I'm still learning. And I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I'm still learning. And will I perfect it? I don't know. It'll be perfect for me, and it'll be perfect for my audience. So you just keep learning, and you just keep growing, and you just keep at it, and you don't give up. I think the biggest thing is that people quit too soon, and they don't give it a chance, and they don't, I can't do this. This is dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't think it was dumb. I didn't know what I was doing. You have to learn. You have to be willing and open-minded to learn. Don't forget that burning desire. Have I said it a million times already? I probably have. And I'll say it a million more. Don't forget that burning desire to want to improve your life and to live the life of your dreams. We're not here for misery. We're not here to be depressed and sad and broken and miserable and unhealthy and angry and stressed out. That's not what we're here for. We are here for crazy, ridiculous joy. That's what we're here for. And this is the only life we have. We don't get another shot at this. This is it. This is your only chance, babe. There's no round two. So no matter where you are, I want you to look at where you are in your life right now, however old you are. We are taking that out of the equation. But I do want you to stop right now for a second and look at how old you are. I'll be 62 this year already. 62. And I have to think, okay, maybe I have 5 years left. Maybe I have 10. Maybe I have 30 years left. Maybe I have 40 years left. I don't know how many years I have left. But what I do know is that I'm going to make the absolute most out of every single day that I do have. Because I don't know when my time is up. Because when you get past 60, you kind of start thinking about life and death a little bit differently, because we don't know when our number is going to be up. So I want you to think about how you can make the rest of your life the best of your life, because you absolutely can. You can change your eating habits. You can change your health. You can change your mindset. You can change everything about your life at this stage of the game, because you are in control. Your happiness is in your control. Your life is in your everything. You are in control of your life. You are the artist of your life right now. So don't give that paintbrush to anybody else. You're the artist, and you get to paint whatever picture you want and how you want to see the rest of your life. So I feel like this video is long. By the way, side note, my brownies are ready. I've already tried them. So they're keto brownies, and I've used sweeteners. So I'm not too fussy for the taste of sweetener, but I tried to not eat sugar. But the brownies are actually pretty good for my first time making these brownies. I just thought I'd share that with you. I'm going to drop the link to the brownies down below in case you want to try them. Thank you for watching. I really, truly hope that this video was motivating. I'm sorry it was all over the place. I tend to talk like that. I'm like, blah, and I and ah, and I'm scatterbrained. So sorry, not sorry. That's just who I am, and that's just the way my videos come out. I hope it inspired you. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it gave you. I hope that it gave you hope that you can start over wherever you are right now, and that you can create and build a life of your dreams. I really hope that that's what you got from this video. So don't forget to check. I'm going to drop a whole bunch of links down below to Fiverr, to some other videos of mine that you might like, how to become a freelance writer, other things. Yeah, I'm going to drop some links. I'll dig up around for some links. I think that might be good for you. I'm also going to drop a link to my, I have a 21-day challenge course, which is a really, really powerful, life-changing course. It takes you through 21 days of challenges that you have to do to improve your life, to get from misery to magnificent. And it's a really, really awesome course. I'm going to drop the link down below to that. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I love feedback on my videos. If you want to leave me some feedback, you can say, hey, Eva, you talk too much or whatever. I love feedback. Just be kind. You don't have to, you can leave feedback and not be rude. I do have thick skin, but I don't tolerate rudeness. But definitely comment down below, like, share, comment, subscribe. I already did all that. Thank you for watching. I do upload every Sunday. And so my videos are usually very different. I talk about travel. I have a lot of videos about Guatemala. I do some anti-aging stuff. I think the next video I'm going to do is about face tape, because I bought some face tape and it's fucking hysterical. Oops. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I truly do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all back here next Sunday. Bye for now.